All right, we got some pretty average running backs. Oh boy, I totally forgot that we switched to Najee. Oh boy, that's what makes this show fun. Don't why are you giving me that? Why are you giving me
Literally
that
this. Look, literally this right here. You see that? Najee Harris. I wonder who we're going with.
look? I wonder why Najee Harris is on the thumbnail when we specifically spoke about Ramondre Stevenson last night. But it's okay.
And
It's
then
fine.
remember when I was like, "Oh yeah, I originally had Stevenson, but then we're gonna have two New England guys," and you were like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Probably should go Najee and Pacheco," and you were like, "Yep."
I didn't say yes, as in like I'm like, yep, we do. That's what I was. Yep, we sure do. So we have a no. I'm just kidding. We can roll with this because will my answer stay the same
Do,
or will
do you
it
need
now
me to
shift?
go first?
Yeah, I need you to go first.
Okay, so Najee Harris, Isiah Pacheco, similarly ranked this week. So that doesn't really tell you a lot. Najee has 13.2 points per game, whereas Isiah Pacheco has 11.5. But over the last 3 weeks, because Najee's been playing, he's got 43.6 to Pacheco's 14. Pacheco is slowly getting back into the fold of things. It's not like he is pre-injury. I mean, 11.5 points last week, 14 over the last 3 weeks. That should tell you something right there. I'm trying to look how many games. Do you know how many games Pacheco's been back?
Two games.
Two
Yeah,
games.
those.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, slow, kind of slow rolling in. 5.9 points last week, actually, or 2 weeks ago. 8.1 last week. I don't know where I'm getting my stats from. So not the greatest numbers by any means. Oh, that's points per game. 11.5 points per game.
Do you need me to take over?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just trying to remember what my notes mean here. They both play defenses that are kind of tough. Cleveland allows the 24th most points, whereas Philly allows the 29th most points against the running back position. So this is a tough matchup, no matter what way you're looking at it. However, KC still has Kareem Hunt. They still have the ability. They have Patrick Mahomes. They're going to throw the ball around. They have Travis Kelce. Najee Harris is kind of that offense right now, especially if um, Pickens continues to miss time. So that helps, that favors Najee Harris right here. I will lean Najee Harris this week over Isiah Pacheco. I still want to see that game from Pacheco. Pacheco hasn't been himself since he's been back from injury. So I'm still waiting for that double digit, that 15, 20 point game from Pacheco before I can reliably say start Isiah Pacheco every week throughout the rest of the playoffs. Right now, the Steelers and Najee Harris is rolling. I'm going to continue riding with Najee Harris so long as he is rolling.
Yeah. So to piggyback up on you, he's been back for two games. The very first game against Vegas, which was a juicy matchup, he only had 37.7% of the snaps. He didn't not get involved at all. Very limited because Kareem Hunt can still get the job done. Last week against the Chargers, he did have 46% snaps. Still not over the 50% mark like we want him to be, like any running back could be. Najee Harris is getting that, except for lately he's been slowing down on this percentages. Like he was down to 53% against Cincinnati. Cleveland, he was down to 39.1, which I'm sure he got. That was in week 12. So he does have some competition as well with Jalen Warren, just not as much. I look at this situation in Cleveland where Pacheco has to go. I did look at the weather because weather's been a big topic of my life in the past 3 hours. It's going to be 75% chance of rain, and it's going to be cold, and it's going to be sloppy. And I'm not sure if I want to start Isiah Pacheco in a very cold, rainy, ugly game. That goes for Jameis as well, by the way. But I will say we're talking about running backs. Najee Harris is the bell cow there. He's been, like it or not, 15 carries minimum. Minimum. I can't think of a game. Okay, back week 4, 5, and 6, he had 14 carries in those weeks. Week 4, he had 13. But other
In those
than
games,
that,
they didn't really run the ball as often because you look at his snap percentage. I mean, 69, 74, 46. Like he's getting the snap share there, but they're clearly just not running the ball nearly as often as they do now. They like you said, 16 carries is his floor since week 7.
exactly. So he's getting the volume plus the targets as well. I mean, that's not even talked about. Isiah Pacheco had 4 targets last week against the Chargers, but he's not known for his pass catching abilities, but he can do it if needed so. But whereas Najee does catch the ball, 6 targets in week 13, six catches as well, 129 total yards that week. Like I think he's been solid, super solid, especially for fantasy. And if we're looking for a low, like a high floor guy, I guess you would say, with a touchdown potential, Najee Harris would be the guy I'm going for this week. Even though I did my notes on a very, very, very short notice, like 10 minutes ago, I'm still confident in saying Najee Harris is my dude. And the reason why I picked Pacheco is because I think a lot of people are getting him back and they're going to rely on him to like, oh, we've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. He's a nice guy, as in like player wise. He's just a guy. He's not going to come in like Zach Charbonnet and save your season. He's not going to come in and just go, like the Rashad Penny year where he went off nuts and won everyone championships. You'll be lucky to get 76 total yards from Pacheco and a touchdown, and that's nice. I'd be happy with that. But you can get the same thing with Najee.